for today's cup of coffee, we're going to be discussing the Bat Beast of Kent. And
the
I
Bat
thought,
Beast of Kent.
right, and that's in England. And when I first was just looking at recent, articles and everything like that, came across this one by Brent Swancer, and he's of Mysterious Universe, and he actually had written this September the 6th, 2021. So it was just a couple of days ago.
Okay.
So it's fresh and hot off the press.
All right.
Brent has tendency.
Yes, newsprint.
Brent is the one who has a tendency to be like very poetic, flowery, kind of drawn out in his writing. And I get that. I do. There are people that really enjoy reading that type of story, and those of us that are like the ADHD and are like, just cut to the chase.
Just get on with it.
Give who, what, where, when, why, and how.
Give us the stuff now. Don't put all this other shit in it. Not the filler.
Well,
we don't want the filler.
Anyhow,
we don't want the fatty part of that.
For him to, like I said, to write it, to try to make it more enjoyable for the reader, but we're not really reading per se. We're using this as a reference.
Actually, no, we do want the fatty part of it because that's the good shit.
Absolutely. You're getting rid of the flavor if you get rid of the fat.
Yeah.
Anyhow, within this, the setting of this encounter happened in Sandling Park, which is in Maidstone, Kent, England.
Okay.
At least that was something I could pronounce.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
I mean, it's easy to pronounce the English stuff, like the British stuff.
Some of it, and some for when it gets into the shires, for whatever reason, I struggle. I don't know why.
Scottish stuff.
But this happened on November the 16th of 1963. And there were four guys. It was John Flaxton and Mervyn Hutchinson. And then two other guys who will... they didn't want to release their names. I don't know why. It's like... I wasn't there. They were walking through the park, going home from a party, and something strange caught their attention, and this strange was in the sky.
People are strange.
Always. That's it. People are strange. And when they looked up into the sky, they saw a very brightly lit, golden oval-shaped object measuring a few meters in diameter that seemed to be hovering over a nearby field.
Huh.
So, not your typical night walking home.
No.
It was described as being intensely bright, much brighter than any star or planet in the sky. Well, I don't consider that very bright.
I don't consider that bright either.
And it says it was more brilliant than any aircraft. The object then began to approach them, and they began to run as it followed. Well, yeah.
Okay.
After which the object moved back to its original position. And it says the object then suddenly began to drop down, sinking below the tree line out of sight. And at first they thought it was perhaps a helicopter, but the object had been completely silent. And so they walked off towards the field to see what it was, which, yeah... young, stupid. That combination goes together often.
Yeah.
And they soon walked to where the object had come down, but were surprised to see no sign of it. And all of them had seen the object, so they knew that they were not imagining things. And they looked around, and they could hear a rustling in the bushes nearby. And said also there was a change in the air, sort of like static electricity.
Almost like how lightning is about to strike.
Mm-hmm.
And that static, like, sticks your hair up and stuff.
Yes, that type of thing. And when they looked around to see what was making the noise, a figure like something out of a nightmare, according to Mr. Swancer, emerged from the gloom. This needs to have Vincent Price orating it.
Resurrect Vincent Price and have him read this. Have him turn it into a little TV show or something.
Vincent Price could read the back of a cupcake mix and make it sound good.
Yeah.
He was just an amazing man. Anyhow, out of the moonlight, there came a dark, hairy figure standing roughly 5 foot tall with large webbed feet like those of a duck.
Creature from the Black Lagoon.
It said the torso had no arms, but rather it had 2 large, prominent bat-like wings, and it had no discernible head.
A what?
That's what it said.
Oh, that's a...
Hey, there are figurines that you can buy. Anyhow, I got that on my Hanukkah wish list. And it said it waddled towards them like a penguin, and then it spread its wings and launched itself through the air at them.
The fuck?
That one's choked Kid up.
Oh my God!
Says the boys screamed and bolted away. No shit.
No shit.
Right away. And it says the creature passed right over them, and then it disappeared into the night. And said witnesses went to the nearest police station.
I got to cough again.
He's going to cough. I think he got caught in my secondhand smoke. I think's what happened.
I got a tickle in my throat.
Said the witnesses went to the nearest police station to tell what happened.
Should have got me a drink.
And of course, nobody believed them.
Yeah.
And they were told to stop telling tales and to go home. And they told them it was probably a large owl.
Oh, that's a bunch of bunk.
Owls are getting blamed for a lot of stuff lately, aren't they?
Owls have heads.
Well, yeah, usually.
And
okay.
you can tell. I had buzzards swarming around me as I was walking up to the farm. And I'm like, am I about to fall out or something? Do they know something I don't? Why are they swarming me?
Don't look up at them.
I did.
My grandmother was right. Don't look up at them. Anyhow, it said that turned out that there was more to the kids' stories because less than a week later, a local man named Keith Croucher, who had no acquaintance with any of the boys, claimed to have seen a brightly glowing object on the same evening as their sightings. And then just 2 days after Mr. Croucher, there would be another report by a man named John McGoldrick.
What, they're going to blame that on owls as well?
Well, he claimed that he had gone out with a friend to investigate after having learned of these sightings, and that they had soon found several large webbed footprints measuring 24 inches long and 9 inches across, as well as an area of brush that seemed to have been flattened by something large and heavy pressing through.
The fuck?
He also claimed that they had seen a strange glow coming through the trees at one point, though they didn't see the creature itself. Then after this, several other reports would come in from people in the area of the park claiming to have seen strange lights in the sky and a winged creature flying about near the park. More owls, I guess.
Yeah.
The sightings of the bat beast of Kent were soon going around through the newspapers, and they also appeared in the Flying Saucer Review, and they got a mention in John Keel's The Mothman Prophecies book. And it says the case was unique in that it seemed to blend elements of ufology, cryptozoology, and the paranormal, being very hard to categorize as any of these. To ufologists, it was clearly a case of a UFO and its alien occupant. To the cryptozoologists, they thought it was some unidentified avian monster. And of course, ghost hunters thought it was a ghost, spirit, or demon. And some even made a connection between the bat beast of Kent and the Mothman that would terrorize Point Pleasant, West Virginia in 1966 and 67. Skeptics claimed it was just a misidentified, what was it? Owl.
That's a bunch of bunk!
Or a scarecrow, or even a crow. Anyhow, as quickly as the sightings began, they suddenly just stopped.
Right, and they're going to blame that on owls, too?
Probably.
No.
The owls migrated.
Don't just stop.
There was another website called Obscure Urban Legend Fandom, and I will include the links in the description box so you can read these yourself. It says in the 1970s, ufologist Chris Wolf reopened this case, and according to records, he interviewed Flaxton and also inspected the scene. Following his investigation, Wolf came to the dubious conclusion that what Flaxton, Hutchinson, and their chums had actually seen was an ordinary crow, oddly illuminated by the flashing of an electric train passing not far away in the autumn air. I don't know. I need to go back and see who this Chris Wolf was and what his credentials. That sounds to me like one of those alphabet agencies debunkers.
Absolutely.
Because now, do you know what kind? It would be easier for a bat beast to be there than a crow and all the subsequent happenings that could have caused it to look like this creature.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty cool, and especially since the thing did not have what we consider any kind of skull, formation.
Now, owls have distinct heads. They have distinct faces.
Right.
You can tell the damn difference between an owl and some other creature. What is with these people blaming owls for everything? No!
I've never heard of an owl having a 24-inch long, 9-inch across foot.
They have never. Now, a wingspan, maybe. But a foot? No!
I mean, it was just...
But also, owls do not have webbed feet. Period.
No, they don't have webbed feet. But there are quite a few companies that are making replicas of the bat beast.
Uh-huh.
I want one.
I want one too. I don't even know what it looks like, and I want one. I want my Flatwoods monster.
Well, that too.
The spooky boy. I want my spooky boy.
And there was somebody on Redbubble. Is that correct? And that
you can have tapestries, stickers, notebooks.
Yeah, he had
clocks.
stickers of the bat beast, and I don't even remember his name, but I will post it in the description box.
Even bats have distinct heads.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, the reason they called it bat beast was because that the bat wings, that was the closest thing that they had to relate, in their experience, how this thing's wings looked.
And guess what? No owl has bat-like wings.
No, it doesn't. Not at all. So
none.
Well, and the fact that the police and some of the things I had read,
I think the police just got spooked.
These kids, I think that a lot of times the police get spooked. But for them to just totally discount and discredit, but they said these kids came in and they were panicked.
And an owl does not cause panic like that unless you have some sort of weird fucked up phobia. I
don't know that there's any 5-foot owls out there that are black. I don't think
there is either.
Because even as far as the great horned owl, going back to the experience the folks in Kentucky had, I think they said that they could stand about 3 foot, but no, 5 foot, that's exceeding that.
Exactly.
And I'm still believing that those folks had gremlins, goblins, whatever it was, that a house does not suddenly get attacked by a flock of owls.
No, it doesn't.
Owls are pretty much solitary creatures.
Yeah.
So, but as far as...
Most of the time, they just want to be left the fuck alone.
I think that's true of humans.
Some of them.
But for somebody, I mean, what are you supposed to do? You see something like that, we are trained to go to authorities and report these things. For what purpose? So that they can mock you?
Right. I guess. I don't know.
And it's like, I don't know if you all are subscribed to Mr. Ballen. Kid isn't a particular fan of Mr. Ballen's stories.
No.
I am. I think he's a brilliant storyteller. But the one that I watched, he had posted a couple of days ago, and I will include this link also. And he said that it was the most effed up police interview ever, or something like that. He was right. Oh my God, he was right. And they had the footage of them interrogating this kid. Mm-hmm. The kid has got this huge, we're talking almost half his face, black eye thing, hematoma thing, plus this other huge thing on his nose. And they're interrogating him, and they're like, well, you're not making any sense. And I hate to be a spoiler on it, because I do want everybody to watch it. Kid had been shot in the face 4 times. And here it was, they were trying to accuse him of killing his girlfriend. Kid had brain damage because of the skull fragments and the detectives didn't notice.
What the fuck?
Right.
He should have sued.
Well, the family, the boy died, like, I think 10 years later or something. By that point, they had waited so long to get him any kind of medical attention that it was irreversible. I mean, he was basically, I mean, he had to have somebody with him all the time. Now, this is speculation that even if the cops had gotten him help 8 hours earlier, yeah, that it wouldn't have been as pronounced, the damage, but again, that's speculation. Because when you've been shot in the head 4 times, that's going to do some lasting damage.
No shit.
But
I don't know what to say about that.
You've got to go and watch this video. You have to.
I'm not.
And it was just astounding.
I'm not watching that.
So as far as never assume that because somebody is in a position of power that they know what the hell is going on.
Most of the time they don't. They don't want to know what's going on.
It's not like TV.
No.
Detectives and stuff like that, it's not.
We wish it was like TV, but it's not.
I mean, everybody would like to have a Columbo on the force.
Yeah.
You know, but it's like, that's not, And as far as these people being trained to deal with anything out of the ordinary.
Right.
Or even the ordinary. We had to watch this video, and I think that there was some people as traumatized by video when we were going through the academy. And the purpose of it was always search your suspects thoroughly. And it is a difficult thing for people to, as far as like groin area and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because, you know, humans. But they showed where these detectives had suspect in interrogation room, and at one point detective goes out of the room, suspect pulls a weapon out of the front of his pants, and it was a large weapon. Shoots himself in the head. You want to know what the detective did? He went into the room, instead of checking on this man at all, he retrieved his cell phone and his keys, and he left. And you could hear the blood dripping.
And it was like an actual footage.
Oh, God, yes, it was an actual footage.
Oh,
that was the always search your suspects well.
Treat them with respect, too.
Yeah, if you treat them like a human. So, never assume.
Like, you don't have to get comfortable with them, but everyone deserves some level of respect.
Well, and that includes, these kids weren't doing anything wrong. And again, this was in, what, did I say, 63 or something? So I don't know that meth was a thing back then. I don't know if meth is a problem with y'all in England the way it is with us. They deserve to be heard.
Absolutely.
Instead of somebody telling them, oh, you're just lying, go home, sit down someplace.
That pisses me off. That pisses me off beyond belief.
Well, this is
have
why
no idea how much that honestly
people, when they have things that happen in their life that they can't explain, paranormal, supernatural, UFO, cryptozoology.
Because who can explain a paranormal experience and sound like a sane person?
Right. That's true. Unless you're talking to somebody like us who has seen a variety of things.
Yeah.
And that's why we don't make fun of anybody. If somebody's got a mental health issue, we understand that too. So, we've actually got a lot of experience and credentials under our belts. We just don't have the correct alphabet letters after our names.
We don't have a PhD. We don't have
the PhDs that I have seen lately, I wouldn't, no. So that's why we do encourage you, if you or someone you know has had one of these experiences, share that with us. And we can share that with others. That helps take the stigma out of it. It lets other people know that they're not alone. We don't know that other people have not had similar experiences.
Absolutely.
That is one of the things about the anonymity part of internet is that you don't have to worry about somebody coming to your house and going, "Oh, you're that one that told that story." Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We're not going to tell you you're full of shit.
Unless you, well,
Even if you are full of shit, we won't
just be
tell
like,
you
that's
that.
funny. We'll be like, that's funny.
Well, you know.
But we're not going to make fun of you. We're not going to humiliate you at all.
No.
Because that's just fucked up, the people who would.
Well, we've gone through it. I've gone through it. Lots.
Yeah.
Lots and lots. And I know what it's like to try to talk to professionals about things that they can't see, they haven't experienced until they do, and you're like, and then they're like, "Oh, you were right," and it's like, no shit.
No shit.
So no,
people are fucking assholes. Really
a lot of times people are, but not everybody. We're not.
No, I'm not saying everybody is. I mean, everybody has the potential of being
absolutely.
An asshole,
it's what you choose to do with it.
Exactly. The fact that the kid got shot in the face so many times and none of them noticed.
Right.
How the fuck do you not notice something as obvious as that?
Oh my God! Like I said, everybody, go over to Mr. Ballen and give him some love. Tell him we sent you, and it's not like he needs subscribers. He's got millions, but you have to see for yourself. And he gives somewhere. I think he gives the link where you can watch the whole interview, which I would be livid by the time that I had watched the whole thing.
Absolutely.
That these people were that unobservant.
That just boggles my
I know
mind.
I know what I have witnessed.
That boggles my mind.
Oh no, I know what I have witnessed, how they treat people that have severe mental health issues.
I know.
That's horrifying also. Yes, let's put the schizophrenics in isolation for years on end. That'll make the situation so much better.
Exactly.
Oh. Anyhow.
Even for a sane person, isolation is enough to make a person insane.
Absolutely it does. It is a form of torture.
Yes.
And it's,
Do not put them in a padded cell with the fucking restraint on.
There are so many people in positions of authority at this point in time that are breaking laws left and right.
Simple humane laws.
Yeah. Yeah, human rights laws. Anyhow, before we go on another tangent, if you've had experience with the paranormal or supernatural, if you've had encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, bat beasts,
Flatwoods monsters,
the Bigfoots,
Loch Ness,
any of those things, if you've got local or regional legends, family legends,
any sort of spooky boy,
yeah, just send us an email to cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com.
Yeah.
The email address is always in the description box.
Mm-hmm.
And thank you very much for your time. Thank you for your viewership. Give us a like, subscribe, share all that stuff.
Share this with your friends, family, whoever you think would be interested in it.
Yeah. I mean, we mix amusement in with it because some of this stuff, if you don't have a dark sense of humor, you will lose your mind.
Absolutely.
And it's happening to people. They're dropping off the edge day by day.
Because people don't know how to laugh at darkness
anymore.
So
we're going to try to pull as many back from the edge as we possibly can.
Yeah.
So you all have a beautiful, blessed day. Know that you're loved, and we'll see you on the next cup.
Spooky boy.
Bye.